It's the Jets going up against the Patriots.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the defending Super Bowl champs introduced to this fired-up crowd here in Foxborough as the Patriots get set to do battle with the New York Jets. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center. Their 6'4" quarterback. This is Isaiah Crowell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know with the man next to
Again, it's Crowell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. And we get a peek at the defensive starters, and it's a unit that really needs to do better than they did last week.
So I would expect them to come out with a lot more emotion this week, flying around, trying to establish a new tone, because last week they didn't feel good about it all.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go!
Back to throw. Drops it underneath for Rawls. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On is the second-year man from Sam Houston State, Lachlan Edwards, to punt it away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. They are led out by a man who needs little introduction at this point. Well, no introduction. Now 5-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot. Offensive player of the week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. David Bass. Charging hard for that outside linebacker spot. He gets in to drop him for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And an alley to run. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Call it a pickup of 7 on the ground. That trims it to a 3rd and 15 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They're going to look to throw. Going underneath for Crowell. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And they will be in the playoffs as champs of the AFC East. But as it stands now, Charles, they'd still have to host a game on Wild Card Weekend because they're looking up at slots 1 and 2.
Well, when the season began, they said, let's win our division first,
that's right?
That's the bottom line. That gets you into the playoffs or the tournament, as a lot of the guys like to call it. So they're in. They'll host that first round, and then they'll see where it goes from there. But the bottom line, as always, get into the playoffs and take your chances from there.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
Well, we all know that Rob Gronkowski's one of the premier tight ends in the NFL, but what makes him that way is the size. We see that. The ability to run. He's faster than a lot of wide receivers. The agility. He's almost like a power forward in basketball. And the competitiveness. When that ball is released, he decides it's his and no one else's.
And now running right through it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 77 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And the defense for New York.
Leonard Williams was one of the most fun players for me to watch in college football. And when he came out in the NFL draft, I kept telling people, here's why I think he's going to be good. Excellent movement skills, light on his feet, also has the ability to bull rush.
They run a draw here on second down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Throwing is Brady on third down. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Brady to his old reliable Edelman, and the Patriots have a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Brady going to try and throw on third down. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And I put my first tally mark next to the Brady to Gronk counter here.
I think it may be the first of many, because once they get going, look out, things tend to snowball. Tom Brady trusts Gronk as much as any receiver I think he's thrown to in his career.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A busy final day for you coming up in the NFL. Final day of the year as well. 11 other games going on as we speak. And then coming up later this afternoon, 2 games each from the AFC West and NFC West, all kicking off at the same time. Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners, Rams. And then that's it for the 2017 regular season. It'll be Happy New Year time. Now, Charles, you going to dust off Auld Lang Syne for us tonight?
Meet me at midnight, baby. You'll find out.
Hard pass.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Play action. They'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. A screen complete to Crowell. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Leonard Williams in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Well, that's the second time they've gotten to Brady, and you've got to do it a variety of ways. You want your regular pressure. Sometimes you have to bring extra. But in this case, they got to him, and that just doesn't happen very often.
It's a rarity. He's just such a veteran. His pocket presence so good. But, hey, tip of the cap to the D. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he comes back with one complete. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall at the 28. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Back to throw here. A little dump off for Crowell. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Instead of the running back in New England, sometimes they like to call them the passing backs. They get them the ball in different ways, don't they?
They certainly do. Think about the ones they've had in recent vintage. You talk about Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen. James White could have been the MVP in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a certain quarterback that was on the field that day.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
To throw, it's McCown. And his throw here's incomplete. Anu again the intended target, and it's second down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On third down, Crowell. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Jeremy Hill now gearing up to go again as he marches back onto the field. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Brady now on first down. And Gronk says, wait room. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards on the play. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find Big 87.
Again, it's Brady. As a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
McCown to throw on second down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Patriots are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Jets didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Patriots with the football early first. Bass has got to take down the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Patriots have it at the 4. Stiff arm here on the run, and he capped off the long drive with the TD as they take a 7-0 lead. Jets ball early in the second. Hightower's got to get the quarterback here. This will go as a loss of 10. Waiting seconds of the half. Brady's going to find his mark, and that is a house call. That puts them on top by 14. Second half still to come. Let's get back up to Foxborough with Brandon and Charles.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Six yards to go here on second down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there on a New England first down.
That, quite simply, is Jeremy Hill. A very powerful, compact back.
He's always been that. Even back at LSU, that's where he honed that skill, right?
Love to run between the tackles and take the contact as well as dish it out.
So they're operating in the red zone. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there. And it helps them move the sticks. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jordan Jenkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a handoff to Crowell. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Brady. This one complete to Jeremy Hill. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful when you're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Brady throwing on second down. They set up the screen to Hill. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win? And
he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now Anderson is slow to get up, staying down after that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. McCown looks to throw again. It's caught by Crowell. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when.
The ball comes out, and the Patriots have it.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through, and that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. They begin the drive with Hill, and he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Hot, hot, hot. Woo! You got him. You got him. You got him. Let's go. Brand 38. Brand hot.
Again, they run with Hill. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
Now Kaepernick, his first toss off the bench. Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Flex round. Flex round.
First throw now for the backup Kaepernick. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a good.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Cordell Patterson, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Patriots add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble. It's in the fourth quarter down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment.